here. I'm David Schellenberg. Hello, Paul.
Hello, David.
Alan Russell from Trinchero. Trinchero, yes? I got it
Trinchero
right.
Family Estates. Thanks for
Back
having
with
me.
us again. Paul, the topic today, fun wines, fun foods.
How can this not work?
We got
I
some.
mean, honestly.
We got some fun foods here,
And we got some fun wines.
and we got some fun wines.
There is a Wendy's that is literally across the street from where we are, and we have some great wines. And yeah, the whole entire topic of this one is these are not expensive wines.
Yeah.
This is not expensive foods.
No.
Let's get together and have a bit of fun. Alan, what's the first wine we're trying today?
These are weekday wines, and a great place to start for us and the Trinchero family is talking about Trinity Oaks.
Okay.
Trinity Oaks is sustainably farmed. 90% of our vineyards across our company are sustainably farmed,
Right.
which means we try to make sure the utmost respect to the land is protected.
Right.
And under the USDA Green Label, we have that designation.
Yeah.
And Trinity Oaks gives back to one bottle, one tree. Is a partnership
excellent.
that we have.
Excellent.
So we really are in it for the environment.
Yep.
I think anytime you grow something that belongs to nature, you have to be.
Sure.
And that wine reflects. So,
So what part of the world is this from?
this is from California.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of California?
All over sourced.
Right.
So you get very good consistency year over year.
Yep.
Lots of tropical fruit that shines through here. But you know what? I think it's just a great weekday wine to come home to, and
To come home to.
And
Yep.
every time you buy it, have a great respect for what you paid for it and what you're pairing with it in this chicken strip.
Right. So Trinity Oak Chardonnay, at least here in Ontario, is $18 a bottle. So, there's the $12 bottles. We've talked about this before. There's a $12 bottle. There's an $18 bottle. There's a $50 bottle. And there's a sweet spot, Paul, around the $18
Yeah.
bottles.
Yeah, and I think so far, nosing and tasting this is an excellent wine.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful wine.
What do you got on the nose on this one?
I got, you know what I got? Baked banana bread.
Oh, yeah.
I got baked banana bread on that. Lots of tropical fruit, especially mango, ripe mango.
Very, very big on the mango.
Big
Yeah.
on the mango, vanilla and butterscotch.
Yep.
Floating around in there. They're just having a good old time in there. Medium to full bodied, I'm going to say. The acidity is not over the top, but it's there,
Yeah.
which is nice. But there's a nice sort of, I'm going to use, we're running out of words here, so velvety again. I'm going to use velvety again, but it's got a nice velvety, round mouthfeel to it and a nice lingering finish that's very persistent in a very nice way.
Right. And I will back you up on a lot of those things, too. Like, yeah, hold on, I have to taste again.
See what the chicken does to it. That's what
Yeah,
we're pairing
that's-
here.
Right. So we're pairing
chicken
this,
strip.
admittedly, with Wendy's chicken strips
Okay.
because we're talking about, everyday sort of foods that everybody's going to taste. So it's an $18 bottle of wine, at least here in Ontario. And when you have it with a chicken strip in the, any sort of a deep fried chicken tender, what do you get?
It's really great. I actually love the pairing. It cuts through that warmth. The palate becomes a little bit softer. It really is doing it justice.
And the acidity cuts through the little bit of greasiness that's in the strip, but I find that the seasoning that's on the chicken strip brings out a little bit more fruit in the wine. Excuse me.
I agree. It's more fruity.
Yeah.
And my first sip was it was close to water, but a second sip, the lemon, the lime.
Yeah, you get that.
There's something that comes out of the Chardonnay
softer
that was not there.
mouthfeel.
Yeah. And this is the problem, I think, on a weekday, fun food, fun wine sort of thing. Yeah, this is really good.
And I think if you're shopping and you're going by sort of a textbook New World style
Yeah.
Chardonnay, agree, disagree, this kind of fits the bill.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot right now for Chardonnay would be probably around $18 and above. That's when you start getting a little bit of those brighter characteristics and not so much manipulation. So I would say for Chardonnay, being a little bit more of a finicky grape to grow,
Right.
spend the extra couple bucks and be happy you did.
Yes, and you're right, because a couple of bucks, it's $4 or $5, and it makes a dramatic difference in the quality of the Chardonnay. that you're
Absolutely.
getting. Yeah. All right, the next one we have is, Paul, you've got all the wine, so.
I'm not sharing.
You're on pour duty. This is a fun brand to talk about. Three Thieves.
Yeah, all right, tell us about Three Thieves.
Created in 2002, so right after 9/11.
Right.
There was a crash of good quality wine drank around the U.S. And all these producers, holy man, I'll take half of that if you don't mind. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All these producers
I'll take the full floor.
happened to be just sitting on their crops with nowhere to sell it
After 9/11.
after 9/11. So there were three thieves, we'll call them, that came around, Joel Gott, Charles Beeler, and Roger Scamania, that would come around and lowball these producers. And their whole goal was to bring wine to the people, to the masses again, by
Yeah.
offering the best quality to price ratio they could.
Okay.
And that went on for a few years, and ever since they've carried on their legacy. Now, wine's back in a big way. People are drinking good wine more now than ever. But the quality here under the Trinchero partnership belongs because they just have such incredible areas to source from. So you're going to get the utmost consistency year over year from a brand that is Three Thieves.
Right, and Three Thieves is one of those brands that's easy to find. You can go to any, doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. I think you go to any liquor store and you're going to find a Three Thieves in there.
Yeah, in Canada, actually, we are one of the best supporters of this brand. And, that speaks to hopefully how good we are at drinking wine here. Because we respect what price to quality brings us.
Right, so in Ontario, this one's $16.
Yeah.
So Alan, what do you get on the nose? What do you get on the
This-
palate?
this'll be,
Paul seems impressed already for 16.
This will be exciting. I think the green apple shines with hopefully any Pinot Grigio that has tasted green apple is the first note to the palate.
Yeah, you take that first bite into a green apple, and you get that hint of acidity and sharpness to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, hopefully paired very well with a delicious chicken burger slapped with mayo on top.
Yes, we are doing fun wines and fun foods, so take that around. Well, first of all, Paul, what did you get on the palate before we try the food?
On the nose, the first thing I got was fuzzy peach candies.
Oh, yeah, a
One of
little
the-
bit more
yeah,
tropical.
A little bit more
Yeah.
tropical, but the green apple,
yes, you're right.
right?
Going to 7-Eleven or Max and
Yeah.
buying those.
We like to dumb it down a bit. But the green apple, for sure. Absolutely, right across the board. Typical, like you said, with Pinot Grigio. On the palate, the zingy acidity, almost to the
Yeah.
point of being almost spritzy to me.
It's not
There-
effervescence, but there
there's-
is, yeah.
and it's not overly acidic, but it does have that little spritziness to it. Very palate cleansing.
Yeah.
When I tried it with the chicken burger, which I thought it worked absolutely phenomenal with, I was worried about the pickle. Because when pickles in wine, anything like that, can be a real killer to wine. The zinginess of the acidity of this
Keeps it alive.
It keeps it right alive.
Yeah.
And it just for me, and the mayonnaise cut right through the mayonnaise in a good way, and turned out to be a phenomenal pairing for me. What do you guys think?
I think this is one of these instances where the wine made the food better. So it's the Wendy's chicken burger because the Wendy's is across the street.
Yep.
And I had a bite of it, and somewhere there's more pickle, there's more mayonnaise, there's more chicken in that burger than I would have normally got.
Right.
Yeah, thinking about what I want to drink during the weekday after, a decent amount of work. I don't know if we should say we do a ton of work, us three, but after a hard day's work,
Yeah.
I want to come home to a bottle of Pinot Grigio.
Sure.
I don't want it to be too
Overthink it.
overthinking. Easy drinking, but can pair across a wide array of foods and not be too complex.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is definitely it. I mean, I could see pairing this with a variety of things. If you want to eat things on a lighter style, if you want to pair it with salad, if you want to pair it with tofu dishes,
Yep.
like that type of thing. Fantastic, fantastic wine. Or one of my favorite things to pair it with, nothing. Just sitting on a deck.
Cheers to Pinot Grigio for
Cheers
being
to
that wine.
Pinot Grigio for that.
I think Pinot Grigio needs to be cold, though.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And admittedly, life is tough sitting in a TV studio, but I think this is a little warm, and I think this would be better colder.
I'm going to tie it back to my Alberta roots.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's too cold in Alberta to sit out on the patio and drink Sauvignon Blanc most days of the year. So I'd like something a little bit more softer.
The glass sticks to your
Sauvignon
face.
Blanc.
It sticks to your face, your tongue sticks to everything, and it's just not pretty to look at. So I'm really, behind Pinot Grigio being my weekday.
You would sit on a patio, a cold patio, and drink Pinot Grigio, but not Sauvignon Blanc?
Well, when it's not overly hot.
Oh, okay, fair.
Sauvignon Blanc is my 30-degree. There are 4 days out of the year.
Right.
You're sweating. You need something to cleanse your body, not just your palate, but you need something to cut through that heat.
But if you're a Sauvignon Blanc drinker, there's a lot in here that you could find
Yeah.
that you could relate to and you'd like. Just maybe a lighter version.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you find the burger with the pickles, the mayonnaise, made this little minty?
I found it brought a lot more, to me anyway, it brought a lot more sort of lemon and lime zest. So minty, yeah, I could see where you're going
in that
with that.
family
Yeah, I can
of-
see where you're going with.
Right.
There for sure.
But
Yeah.
I found the green apple disappeared, and you're right, more of a lemon mintiness came along.
Citrus shines. For
citrus,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Which is fascinating. Like, even though, because we're talking about fun wines, fun foods. Like, even though it's basic wines, when you pair them with the most basic foods, it's amazing how it will change.
Weekday wines.
Weekday wines.
Yeah.
All right, weekday wine number 3. Time to switch to the reds now. And we're going to a Three Thieves Cabernet Sauvignon. Alan, tell us a bit about this one.
Yeah, so same style, or let's call it same approach of winemaking. Every time we want the consumer to pick up this bottle, we want them to think about how good it was
Right.
for the price that they purchased it. for.
$16 here in Ontario.
Yes,
So
it's
a
a
solid
steal.
value.
And that's the whole concept behind
Why'd
this
you pour
brand.
me this much, Paul?
These are getting bigger. Ed.
Yeah, these
No.
Yeah, no, mine's bigger.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right, let's not make this a pissing contest.
All right, Alan. Alan, what do you get on the nose? What do you get on the palate?
I would say red fruit. Not overly, we're talking raspberry, strawberry here. For a cab, you would expect a little darker. Tiniest bit of dark chocolate there. But it really is a very easy wine to drink on its own, and I think that's what we're going for here.
Yeah, $16 in Ontario for this one. And I would agree. Like, you could just sit and enjoy this wine.
Yeah, I don't think for the aromas, there's nothing massively jumping out, but there's a lot there. It's just you sort of have to go at it, and it's delicate, but it comes to you. Like I got, for some reason, I got some blueberry, and I got a little bit of black licorice and a little bit of,
Blueberry,
yeah, and a
yes,
bit of
that's the
leather.
word. Yeah, blueberry.
Yeah. And on the palate, I found it so, again, smooth,
Yeah.
elegant. The tannin is not high. There's some there, but you can definitely taste the acidity.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a nice balance there, which you want in a cab. And the finish is I felt nice and warm. There's a nice warming finish
Yeah,
to it. So
this is a Netflix wine. This is a wine
Yeah.
that you just want to
There you
sit
go.
in front of the TV and not worry too much about what else is going on. Maybe you have kids in the background running around yelling
Right.
at you, or the dog, but the wine is
With a
keeping-
dog. Oh, you painted the whole picture there. And Alan, we're pairing this with the most
Oh, yeah.
basic of hamburgers.
We got
like-
don't throw Wendy's under the bus. We got the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
Yes,
Which is an
exactly.
absolute classic and national treasure.
a national treasure. But whenever we think about Cabernet Sauvignon, we think of red meat, we think of beef. Like, that is the classic pairing with them. And this particular one is a Wendy's cheeseburger, the cheapest one
Yeah.
that Wendy's sells. And anyway, any cheap cheeseburger I think would go with this. And what did it do in the
Wow.
wine for you?
Well, tannin in Cabernet needs fat, and this doesn't have an overly aggressive amount of tannin. So I think this is arguably a very good pairing. You know,
agree.
you're pairing medium-bodied wine with a medium
With a $2
with a
cheeseburger.
medium-style $2 cheeseburger.
And Paul, what do you think?
Again, you know, when you don't want to overly think the meal, you know what, you're coming home.
There's a
You know,
drive-through on the way home.
It's a drive-through on the way home. You just want to plop down, watch your Netflix, binge some wine, binge some Netflix, and you're trying the food. But when they harmonize, and it's actually a very pleasant experience when you actually stop and think about it. Where for me, I got a lot more red fruit coming out
Yeah.
of the wine. Like all of a sudden, it just tasted fruitier to me.
But not cherry. Which red fruits are you thinking?
More like a strawberry jam kind of thing going
okay.
on.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a little bit of vanilla, not much, but there is a
Oh yeah, yeah.
touch of vanilla in there, and
Now the oak presence is there in the wine too. It's not over.
it's not over
Yeah.
though. And what I like, I'm a bacon fan. The
We're
bacon,
not getting to the bacon here. That's the big
No, no,
finish,
but
Paul.
there's
no,
bacon
don't
in
give
this,
away the
but
end.
I
of it.
want to make sure that we protect Wendy's and all this. That burger is a national treasure.
That's a cheap burger, and it was just fine.
it was. I thought it was fantastic, and I like the fact that the bacon, the smokiness of the bacon, brought out some sort of darker fruit characteristics of the wine. So
Yeah.
for me, home run on that one.
Right on.
All right, so our
Yeah,
big
that
finish,
one.
we're going to the Wendy's Baconator. So we're
okay.
going to do a big one, and we'll go to the Joe Gott on a Cabernet Sauvignon. So we've gone from a $16 Cabernet Sauvignon to a $24 Cabernet Sauvignon.
Now,
So maybe this is not a Tuesday. Maybe this is a Friday. Maybe this is a Saturday.
this is a long weekend.
This is a long weekend.
a,
All right.
yep.
Okay, Joe Gott would be happy.
Joel Gott would hopefully be very happy. He has a burger chain in California called Gott's Roadside Burgers that he
Okay.
started with his brother. And his whole compass and direction for his brand is to make sure that you pair great quality wines with easy to pair foods. So, we don't have his burger, but we have a Wendy's burger.
The Wendy's Baconator.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Joel Gott,
Yeah.
Cabernet Sauvignon. This is an easy wine to find. I know a lot of people, they don't know much, but they know Joel Gott.
Yes.
As one of those things you can walk in any liquor store in the world and find, and you'll be fine with.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Joel Gott is a household name these days, and it should be. It's California appellation, so they source it from all over the state. You get the best of Napa in its rich and complexity characteristics. You get Sonoma spice. You get Lake Country mouthfeel and tannin.
Right.
You get Mendocino acidity. You get some of that nice, vibrant tropical characteristic from the Central Coast in Paso.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good vineyard sourcing that's done here, and Joel Gott is just consistent as it gets year over year.
And these are both Cabernet Sauvignons. We have gone from one Cabernet Sauvignon to another, and yet, Paul, they taste completely different.
Yeah, and that's to do with the oak presence here. So 25% new American oak that gets put into this for 18 months. And you'll see as we graduate in price here what it does to the wine. I mean, if you want a little bit more structure and complexity.
Sure, we've gone from $16 to $24, and as you said, a long weekend wine compared to Tuesday.
I think, Joel has been doing this a long time. His vineyard partnerships have risen him to the top over 20 plus years. His wife, Sarah, is really the backbone behind this brand. She has a degree in winemaking and worked in wine for her entire career. So it's really a partnership, a family partnership that goes behind this bottle, even though it's quite a big brand these days. And it's done the right way.
Absolutely. I mean, again, you can see that this wine, again, I'm going to say it, would benefit from some decanting
Yep.
because I think it's that complex. But even just, right out of the ball, like we're having it right now, a lot of sort of strawberry and raspberry jam notes, black fruit, dark fruit. I got a little bit of a sort of a tobacco leaf, pipe tobacco kind of thing going on there. Leathery characteristics to it. Medium to full-bodied. The wine is round on the palate, so it's silky, it's smooth, but it's showing acid, it's showing tannin, it's showing that, I'm ready for a Baconator. And paired with the Baconator for me, the saltiness and the ketchup and the meat just brought out even more characteristics of the wine. Loved it. Loved it.
Wendy's
Two thumbs up.
Baconator, so it's 2 beef patties. You're right. It's mayonnaise. It's bacon on top of it. There's not a lot of anything other than meat in this. And Alan, what do these do for you?
I'm glad to hear you find all those secondary, tertiary characteristics of it, because ultimately the amount of oak presence and the amount of structure and body it takes over in its winemaking really does shine. And for a wine of this price, that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Baconator, I haven't even touched that yet. So I'm gonna do,
Well, you're talking about from Alberta.
this is my lunch.
What was that, Dave?
This is your lunch.
I think Dave just spoke Elvish there. We might need a priest to come in here and exercise him.
Could very well be. I mean, so we're up to, we work on our way sort of up the level. So we had some $16 bottles of wine with some $2 hamburgers. Now we had a $24 bottle of wine with a $5 hamburger. So,
Big hamburger, big wine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
And Alan, what did it do?
Yeah, I think the bacon, the crispiness, the saltiness, a little bit of maybe even, dare I say, pepper.
Yeah.
It really does
There's
help.
a lot of pepper.
Yeah, help.
Because I was thinking of that too. When I went back to the Joel God Cab Sauv after the Baconator, there was more pepper in this Cab Sauv than there was in there before.
And again, all these things are happening with fun wines, with fun foods
Yeah.
at reasonable prices. So, yes, is it fun to go out and spend a lot of money on a good bottle of wine and a fantastic? Absolutely. If you do, but there's times where, you know what, you just want to get home.
Yeah.
You just want to go through the drive-through, and this is what and why not enjoy it when it can be that pleasurable of an experience.
And easy.
And easy.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily have to go to some fancy-dancy restaurant
Yeah.
or fire up the barbecue and do something overly complicated.
Yeah.
You can just get a simple bottle of wine, which is available anywhere.
And that's what Joel Gott really is. They take the best of all that California encompasses behind all their grower partnerships across the state and provide the most quality they can put in a bottle at this price. So we're happy to hear you guys say that.
Fantastic. I love the pairings. All of them for me worked. Love the wines. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Carrier, Alan Russell. This has been Paul's Picks. I'm David Schallenberg. Good night.